May 14th, 2003, 11:47 p.m. June Carter Cash sat at her desk in their Hendersonville home, her hands shaking slightly as she opened the leather-bound diary she'd kept for 40 years. Johnny was already asleep upstairs, exhausted from worry. Tomorrow, June would go into surgery for heart valve replacement, a routine procedure, the doctor said, but June knew better. She could feel death approaching. She'd felt it for weeks. The heaviness in her chest wasn't just her failing heart. It was the weight of knowing this was the end. So she picked up her pen and wrote what would be her final diary entry. The words came slowly, carefully, each sentence a goodbye she couldn't say out loud to Johnny because he'd fall apart. She wrote, "Tomorrow I go under the knife. I know in my heart I won't survive it. I can feel death coming. I'm not afraid for myself. I've lived a full life, loved deeply, made music, raised children. I'm at peace with God. But I'm terrified for John. Without me, he will die. I know this as certainly as I know my own name. We've been together 35 years, married and making music, but we've been one person for all that time. We breathe as one. We think as one. We exist as one. When I stop breathing, John will stop too. I give him 4 months, maybe 6 at most. He won't survive without me because he's never learned how to live alone. He was an addict when I found him, dying slowly from pills and self-destruction. I saved him, pulled him back from the edge, and for 35 years I've been his anchor, his reason to stay sober, his reason to live. Without me, there's nothing holding him here. He'll drift away, not from pills this time, but from grief, from loneliness, from the simple fact that living without me will be unbearable for him. Lord, please be gentle with him when I'm gone. He's been through so much pain in his life, losing his brother Jack, losing his parents, losing friends, battling addiction, battling himself. And now he'll lose me, and I don't know if he's strong enough to survive that. So I'm asking you, Lord, when the time comes, take him quickly. Don't let him suffer too long. 4 months, 6 months, that's all I can bear to think of him being alone. Then bring him home to me, because wherever I'm going, he'll follow. He always follows." June closed the diary, put it in her desk drawer, the same drawer where she kept all her journals going back to the 1960s. She didn't tell Johnny about what she'd written, didn't tell anyone. It was between her and God. The next morning, May 15th, 2003, June went into surgery at Baptist Hospital in Nashville. Johnny sat in the waiting room, surrounded by family, children, grandchildren, everyone trying to stay positive. The surgery was supposed to take 3 hours. It took longer. Complications, the doctors said. Her heart was weaker than they thought. After 5 hours, a surgeon came out. His face said everything before his words did. "I'm sorry, we did everything we could. June didn't make it. There were complications during the procedure. We couldn't save her." Johnny stood up slowly, his face completely blank, no expression, no tears, nothing. He walked out of the hospital, got in his car, and drove alone. He didn't cry, didn't speak, didn't react. He just shut down completely. For the next 4 months, Johnny Cash slowly died, not from any specific illness, though his body was riddled with them, diabetes, autonomic neuropathy, vision problems, but from grief, from the simple fact that June was gone and he had no reason to keep fighting. Rick Rubin, his producer, came to visit a week after June died, found Johnny sitting in his music room staring at nothing. "John, we need to talk about the next album," Rick said gently. Johnny looked at him like he was a stranger. "There is no next album, Rick. I'm done. June's gone. There's no music without her." Rick tried to argue. "John, making music will help. It'll give you something to focus on." Johnny shook his head. "You don't understand. I didn't make music for me. I made it for her. Every song was for June. Every performance was so she'd be proud. Without her watching, there's no point." Rick saw Johnny a few more times over the next months. Each time, Johnny looked worse, thinner, more withdrawn, barely eating, barely sleeping, just existing, waiting. In June, Johnny had lost maybe 30 pounds. By July, he'd lost another 20. His body was shutting down. His children begged him to fight, to eat, to try. "Dad, please, you have to keep going, for us, for your grandchildren," Roseanne pleaded. Johnny just looked at her with hollow eyes. "I'm sorry, baby, but I can't. June took half of me when she left, and the half that's left doesn't work anymore." By August, Johnny could barely walk. His autonomic neuropathy had progressed rapidly, his nervous system failing. He'd fall, couldn't hold things, couldn't play guitar because his hands shook so badly. But he wasn't trying to get better, wasn't fighting it. He was surrendering, letting go. In early September, Johnny was hospitalized, officially for complications from diabetes, but really because he was dying and everyone knew it. On September 10th, the doctors told the family to come. It's time. He's got maybe 48 hours. The family gathered, took turns sitting with Johnny, saying goodbye. Johnny was barely conscious, drifting in and out. But when Roseanne held his hand and said, "I love you, Dad," Johnny opened his eyes and whispered, "Tell June I'm coming." On September 12, 2003, exactly 120 days after June died, 4 months to the day, Johnny Cash stopped breathing. The doctors said his heart failed, his body gave out, but everyone who knew him understood what really happened. He chose to leave, chose to follow June, because living without her was unbearable, and he promised her long ago that they'd never be apart. At Johnny's funeral, they played Ring of Fire, June's song, the one she'd written about falling in love with Johnny, and everyone cried because now they were both gone. The greatest love story in country music had ended, but here's where the story takes an eerie turn. In 2018, 15 years after both Johnny and June died, the Carter family decided to publish June's diaries, decades of entries, her thoughts, her feelings, her life documented in her own handwriting. Carlene Carter, June's daughter, was going through the journals, organizing them chronologically, when she came to the final entry, May 14, 2003, the day before June died. Carlene read it and started crying. She called her sister. "You need to see this." They read together what June had written. "I give him 4 months, maybe 6 at most." And then they looked at the dates. June died May 15th, Johnny died September 12th. They counted exactly 120 days, exactly 4 months. Carlene said in a 2018 interview, "When we found that diary entry, we were all stunned. Mom knew. She knew exactly how long John would last. 4 months, and she was right to the day. It wasn't a guess, it was knowledge, deep knowledge of the man she'd loved for 35 years. She knew he couldn't survive without her, and she was right to the day." The Carter family debated whether to publish that final entry. It was so personal, so painful, but ultimately they decided the world should know, should understand the depth of Johnny and June's bond. When the diary was published in 2018 as part of a larger collection of June's writings, that final entry became the most talked about passage. People couldn't believe it. 4 months, exactly. It seemed impossible, seemed like something from a movie, but it was real, documented. June had written it before she died, and it came true. Roseanne Cash fed in response to the diary's publication, "I always knew my father died of a broken heart. We all knew, but seeing my mother's words, seeing that she knew it would happen, that she predicted 4 months, it's both beautiful and devastating. It shows how completely they were bonded, how truly they were one person in 2 bodies. When one half died, the other half couldn't function, couldn't exist, couldn't breathe. 4 months June gave him, and he took exactly that. No more, no less. And then he followed her into whatever comes next, together again, just as June knew they would be, just as she wrote in her final diary entry the night before everything ended." There's something profound about June's prediction, something that goes beyond coincidence. 120 days is specific, 4 months exactly. If Johnny had died after 3 months or 5 months, you could say June was approximately right, but 4 months to the day suggests something deeper. It suggests June understood Johnny's will to live was tied entirely to her, that once she was gone, he'd simply stop fighting, and she could calculate how long his body would hold out once his spirit gave up. Rick Rubin said in a 2020 interview about finding the diary entry, "When I heard about June's prediction, I wasn't surprised. I'd seen John after she died. I'd seen him give up, stop eating, stop trying. He wasn't suicidal. He didn't actively try to die. He just stopped living, stopped taking care of himself, and his body shut down. June knew he'd do that, knew he couldn't go on without her. 4 months was her estimate of how long his body could run on empty, and she was exactly right." Medical professionals have tried to explain it, saying Johnny's death was inevitable given his multiple health conditions, the diabetes, the neuropathy, the general deterioration. But that doesn't explain the timing, doesn't explain why he died exactly 4 months after June. Not 3, not 5, not 6, but 4, exactly as June predicted. Some believe June's prediction was more than observation, that it was a kind of psychic knowledge, that she and Johnny were so connected that she could feel how much life force he had without her. Others believe it was simply June knowing Johnny better than anyone, knowing that once she was gone, he'd have no reason to fight, and knowing how long a body could survive without a will to live. Whatever the explanation, the fact remains. June wrote on May 14th that Johnny would follow her in 4 months. She died May 15th. He died September 12th. Exactly 4 months. The diary entry has become famous, quoted in documentaries, books, articles about Johnny and June. It's become the defining statement about their relationship, proof that their love was more than romance. It was a metaphysical bond, 2 souls that couldn't exist separately. In 2023, on the 20th anniversary of their deaths, a documentary was released called 4 Months, the final chapter of Johnny and June. It explored their last months, June's surgery, Johnny's decline, and centered on that diary entry. The documentary included interviews with family members, all of whom confirmed that Johnny had essentially died of grief. Roseanne said in the documentary, "People ask if Dad could have survived if he'd tried harder, if he'd fought, and the answer is maybe. Physically, maybe he could have lived a few more years, but emotionally, spiritually, he was dead the moment Mom died. The 4 months after were just his body catching up to what his soul already knew. He was gone. He was already with her. He just hadn't stopped breathing yet." The documentary also revealed something else. On September 12th, the day Johnny died, the hospital room was full of family. Roseanne was holding his hand. John Carter was there, other children and grandchildren. And in Johnny's final moments, when his breathing was slowing, when everyone knew it was seconds now, Johnny opened his eyes, looked at something nobody else could see, and smiled. Roseanne said, "I was holding his hand and I felt him squeeze, and then he smiled, this beautiful, peaceful smile, and I knew he was seeing her. He was seeing Mom. She'd come for him just like he knew she would, and then he was gone." That smile, that final moment, confirmed what everyone believed, that June had been waiting for him, that she'd kept her promise to be there when he crossed over, that they were together again after 4 months of painful separation. Today, Johnny and June are buried next to each other in Hendersonville Memory Gardens, their graves side by side, the headstones simple. Johnny's reads John R. Cash, 1932-2003. June's reads June Carter Cash, 1929-2003. But what's remarkable is if you look at the dates, May 15th and September 12th, and count the days between, 120 days, 4 months, exactly as June predicted. Visitors to their graves often leave flowers, notes, tokens of love, and many of the notes reference June's prediction, together forever, just like you knew you'd be. 4 months was too long to be apart, prophecy fulfilled, love eternal.
The diary entry has become part of their legend, part of the mythology of Johnny and June, the ultimate proof that their love was real, was total, was the kind of love that transcends death. June knew she was dying, knew Johnny couldn't survive without her, and instead of being bitter or angry about it, she accepted it, even predicted it with precision, and Johnny fulfilled that prediction by simply ceasing to fight once she was gone. Some people find the story romantic, the ultimate love story, two people so bonded that one couldn't exist without the other. Others find it tragic, sad that Johnny couldn't go on for his children, his grandchildren, his music, that his love for June eclipsed everything else. But regardless of interpretation, the facts remain. June wrote on May 14, 2003, "I give him 4 months." She died May 15th, he died September 12th. 4 months exactly. It's a love story, a tragedy, a prophecy, and a testament to the power of connection, of what it means to truly be one with another person. Johnny and June weren't just married, weren't just partners, they were two halves of one whole. And when one half died, the other couldn't function, couldn't exist, couldn't breathe. 4 months. June gave him 4 months, and he took exactly that. No more, no less. And then he followed her into whatever comes next. Together again, just as June knew they would be. Just as she wrote in her final diary entry the night before everything ended.